Today on Go Island, we're looking ahead to Nanaimo's first ever eTown Hall meeting. It's coming up on March the 25th. Today on Go Island, what does water mean to you? It's International Water Week, a Victoria filmmaker's passion for elephants, and making gelato with Melanie Panetta. That and more today on Go. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and in this edition of Go, we're going to talk to Nanaimo Mayor John Ruttan as well as Councillor George Anderson about the upcoming and first ever for Nanaimo eTown Hall budget meeting that's coming and will be broadcast on Shaw TV on March the 25th. Nanaimo is only the second community in the province to hold such a meeting, and it gives you, the citizens of the region, an opportunity to communicate directly with City Council via Twitter, via Facebook, via web form, or the old-fashioned ways, telephone, and of course in person. We're going to talk about the implications of that later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, we are right smack in the middle of Water Week. It runs through until March the 24th, and in acknowledgement of that, Jocelyn Matt, we hit the streets to see what water means to you. Troubled Water is a film by local filmmaker Paul Manley, and it will premiere in Nanaimo on World Water Day, which is March the 22nd. That runs at VIU from 1:30 until 3:30. It's a film that examines threats to the public water systems, including watersheds on Vancouver Island, and you can email Paul Manley for more information on that. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. This is Councillor George Anderson, and we're here today talking about an event that you're very excited about. It's coming up on March the 25th, an eTown Hall budget meeting. Yep. What is an eTown Hall meeting? Well, an eTown Hall meeting will allow people to participate electronically via social media, so Facebook and Twitter, and we'll be able to ask comments and add suggestions to our budget this upcoming week. So it's really exciting, and we're the second community to be doing it in British Columbia. Okay, so it's a leadership position that Nanaimo's taking in this regard. It really is, because we're also doing it in an innovative way, and that the way that our staff have gone and looked at it, no one else has done it. The way that we've actually done it, and the way that Maple Ridge did it, they actually physically wrote down the questions. In our town hall, you'll actually be able to see the questions physically. So. Okay, and the questions are going to be coming in from you, the viewers, via Twitter. There's a hashtag that will be released about 1 hour before the meeting, and the meeting goes at 7 o'clock on Monday and will be broadcast as well on Shaw TV. So you can communicate with Council directly through Twitter. You can communicate with Council through Facebook. You can join that Facebook group now. You can now, and also there is the opportunity to be available to call in your questions and your comments about the budget, and also be there physically. So we've opened up almost every single opportunity other than going physically into people's homes, but it'll also be broadcast live on Shaw as well. Excellent. And then another form too is a web form, which is open now. You can email your questions in now through the website, and we'll make sure you get all of that information through the course of this edition of Go Island. A little bit risky. What happened? I mean, in two ways. One is that it's wide open. It sort of deals with the transparency issue, that everybody can see what everybody's saying. Yep. And whether you choose to bring those questions to Council or comments is another matter, but everybody can see everything that is being put forward if you're using Twitter or Facebook. What if it fails, or can it fail? Well, we don't know. We have to wait until Monday to see what happens, but we're trying our best to try and get people involved. And the thing about it as well is those questions and comments will still continue to be on Twitter for people and our staff to see and for Council to be aware of. So hopefully we'll see what happens on Monday, but we hope for the best. And right now, just based on our Facebook page, I don't think it'll be failing right now. Okay, one final question, George, is very much limited to budget. Yeah. A lot of people have a lot of things they want to talk about, but this opportunity is for budget-related questions. Yes, it is related to our budget, so if people want to come and say, how come we're spending this money on this, or the city should be investing more money in green technologies or adding more bike lanes or those types of things, this is a perfect opportunity for them to come and tell Council. These are the priorities that we think are important and the values that should be within the budget. Excellent. Thank you. We know George is very active through social media. The Mayor, John Ruttan, perhaps not so. And we're going to talk to him about that later on this edition of Go Island, and maybe get George to give John a little bit of a lesson or have some fun in that regards. But first, we're throwing things over to Dan Kahn down in Victoria. A local filmmaker has a passion for elephants. She has a documentary full film feature in the works, but is running into some stumbling blocks when it comes to funding. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are anticipating Nanaimo's first ever eTown Hall budget meeting. It takes place on March the 25th, an opportunity for you to communicate directly with Council on budget-related questions via Twitter, Facebook, a web form, or the old-fashioned way, which is telephone or in person. We'll talk to Mayor John Ruttan in just a few minutes. In the meantime, Kelly Robinson spent some time with a local group of dog owners who are determined to change Nanaimo's bylaw breed restrictions. Still ahead today on Go Island, another installment of the Classroom Energy Diet and Higher Learning with Melanie Panetta. That and more still ahead today on Go Island. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. This is Nanaimo Mayor John Ruttan. Now, John, I think we're friends on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
But I never see you on Facebook. And we're talking about this because of the eTown Hall meeting. You're not all that active in social media.
I'm just so busy, but no, I really need to put more time into it. There's no question about that. I'm not up to the same level as Councillor Anderson, who is undoubtedly an expert on this. But to remember, what we're trying to do here is not so much to assess our skills. Some are great and mine is not. But I think really what we're trying to do is provide an opportunity for all levels of the community to be able to get involved with communicating with Council and with asking the questions in whatever media they're comfortable with. And social media, of course, is the thing today. And so
I think it's a great example of how there is a real need and value of having different generations on Council, because you and Councillor Anderson are not from the same generation, yet the skills you bring to the table, the skills that George brings to the table, are hopefully providing the all-encompassing experience that the citizens of Nanaimo want.
Well, and that's an excellent point. I think you're right. And that's why what we're hoping is that with this opportunity via social media, we're trying to attract and interest more younger people to get involved in politics at every level, and in our case, the municipal level. And I think this will be a great opportunity. And hopefully the result will be they will want to take the opportunity to communicate with us. And we'll be able to communicate back just as quickly. We'll have a whole staff on it.
Have you had some training on the technology? Because
I had a little bit of training, yes.
The city has really pioneered the technology that is making this possible.
It's actually been a huge commitment by the city, and not so much of a gamble. I mean, it's something we want to try anyway, but I think this is going to work out very, very well. I'm optimistic, and it's something that's going to maybe create the opportunity to do again. We're not really planning this to be a one-off, one-time thing, but at the same time, we want it to be successful. And if it has encouraged a number of younger people to become involved, to ask questions and receive answers and ask for questions in return, then we've achieved part of the goal that we want to get.
Final question, and I did bring it up earlier with Councillor Anderson, a little bit risky. You're trying to narrow the scope of the discussion to the budget.
Yes.
Knowing what the public does en masse is that they'll be all over the map and probably coming with questions and concerns and rants that have nothing to do with the budget.
No, and that's right, because you can take almost anything in the city and somehow relate to the budget, and so
of course,
I mean that's the challenge we're facing. But we tried to focus it a bit, and so that we can at least say to the people, listen, we're trying to focus on the budget. What you're asking is not really quite on subject, but and then we'll try to answer it if we can anyway. But if we don't give them some kind of general direction and maybe explain what we're trying to achieve, we probably won't get the results we want. And will it work out? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it with a little bit of trepidation, but I think it's like everything else. You have to try it before you know whether it won't work. If it doesn't work, we can step back and say we tried.
And then we can make some revamps and maybe try it again or adjust for another opportunity. This all takes place on March the 25th, Nanaimo's first ever eTown Hall budget meeting. You can contact Council directly via a hashtag that will be released about 1 hour before the Council meeting, which goes 7 o'clock on Monday. You can sign up to the event on Facebook right now. You can submit your questions through a web form that is available right now, or go the old-fashioned way and show up at 10 Council in person, or contact them via telephone. We'll be back with more from Nanaimo City Hall after a short break. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. For more information on the upcoming Nanaimo eTown Hall budget meeting, you can visit the City of Nanaimo's website. If you think that we should be visiting you for an event or an occasion or an activity that you have coming up to be our host location for Go Island, all you need to do is send an email. You can reach me at kate.bergen@sjrb. It's time now to throw things over now to our next installment of the Classroom Energy Diet. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and just another mention that Nanaimo's first ever eTown Hall budget meeting will take place on March the 25th at 7 o'clock. You can, of course, attend in person or tweet your concerns and questions and comments about the budget through a hashtag that will be released about 1 hour before the event. We're going to throw things over now to Melanie Panetta. She's learning whether she has what it takes to learn how to make gelato. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. For all the details on the upcoming eTown Hall budget meeting, the second in British Columbia, you can visit the City of Nanaimo's webpage at go.to/townhall. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you next time.